4 powerful reasons you should never hurt a Taurus. Or life will quietly settle the score. Have you ever wondered why, no matter how tough life gets, there's this quiet strength inside you that just refuses to give up? Maybe it's that unshakable calm you feel when everyone else is panicking. Or the way you keep building your world, your home, your work, your dreams, step by steady step, even when the storms hit hard. If that sounds like you, then you're about to discover the incredible power of Taurus flowing through your veins. Hi there, beautiful souls. I'm Sophia, your psychologist, astrologer, and biggest cheerleader here at Zodiac Wisdom. Welcome to our cozy corner of the universe where we dive deep into the magic of the Zodiac to help you live your truest, most vibrant life. Whether you're a Taurus yourself or you're here to understand that special Taurus in your world, I'm so glad you're with me today. If you love what we're about to uncover, hit that like button, share this with a friend who needs a little cosmic boost, and don't forget to subscribe so we can keep this journey going together. Now, here's what's in store for you today. We're peeling back the layers of Taurus, the zodiac sign of strength, loyalty, and unshakable stability. I'm going to walk you through 4 amazing chapters that reveal the hidden brilliance of Taurus, with real stories from women just like you, moms, freelancers, small business owners, who've turned their Taurus traits into pure gold. Trust me, you don't want to miss a second of this. So stick with me all the way to the end, because what you're about to discover, it might just spark a light in you that changes everything, maybe even how you see yourself forever. So, what are we waiting for? Let's dive into the warm, grounding energy of Taurus together. And hey, if anything I say strikes a chord, maybe a story, a tip, or just a single line that makes you go, wow, that's me, drop it in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And so would this amazing community we're building here at Zodiac Wisdom. Let's get started. Chapter 1. The Inner Strength and Steadfast Heart of Taurus. Hey, my lovely friends, let's kick things off with something I know you felt deep down. Even if you don't always say it out loud, that incredible inner strength that makes Taurus who you are. Picture this, you're like an oak tree in a storm. The wind howls, the branches sway, but your roots, they're dug so deep into the earth, nothing can knock you over. That's the Taurus magic I want to unpack today, your resilience. Your quiet confidence that doesn't need a spotlight. And that memory that holds onto lessons like a treasure chest. Let's dive in. First, let's talk about your resilience. Taurus, ruled by Venus, the planet of beauty and love, might sound soft and sweet. But don't let that fool you. You've got this earthy, unshakable core that lets you weather life's toughest moments. When something hurts, maybe a friend lets you down, or a project you poured your heart into falls apart, you don't crumble. Oh no, you take it in, process it quietly, and then you keep going. It's not loud or flashy, but it's powerful. I've seen this in so many of you. Take Lisa, a 45-year-old stay-at-home mom I worked with a while back. She found out her best friend of 20 years had been talking behind her back. Devastating, right? But instead of falling apart, Lisa turned to what she loved, her garden. She planted roses, tended to her herbs, and little by little, she rebuilt her peace. Today, she tells me she's happier than ever. Not because she forgot the hurt, but because she proved to herself she could rise above it. That's you, Taurus, stronger than you even realize. Now, here's the thing about that strength, it doesn't need a cheer squad. You don't need validation from anyone else to know your worth. This is where Taurus shines in a way that's so unique. Other signs might crave applause or a pat on the back. But you've got this inner compass that tells you, I'm enough. When someone wrongs you, you don't beg them to see your value. You don't need their, I'm sorry, to feel whole again. You just dust yourself off and walk away, head held high. I think of my client, Karen, a 42-year-old freelancer who'd been underpaid and undervalued by a client for years. One day, she said, Sophia, I'm done. No big showdown, no pleading. She just stopped taking their calls and started pitching to people who respected her talent. Within months, she landed contracts that paid her what she deserved. That's the Taurus way. You don't need anyone to tell you you're amazing, you already know it. And you act on it. But let's get real for a second. Part of what makes you so strong is that you never forget. Oh, Taurus, your memory is like a steel trap. When someone crosses you, betrays your trust, or takes you for granted, you might not make a scene, but you file it away. It's not about holding grudges, it's about protecting yourself. Those moments shape how you move forward, who you let in, and who you keep at arm's length. I remember talking to Diane, a 47-year-old small business owner who'd been burned by a flaky partner. She didn't yell or fight, she just quietly stepped back, restructured her business, and now runs it solo with a team she trusts. She told me, "Sophia, I'll never forget how that felt. And it's why I'm so careful now." That's not bitterness, my friends, that's wisdom. You carry those lessons like badges of honor, and they make you unstoppable. So, what does this all mean for you? Let's break it down with some real, heartfelt advice. If you're facing a tough spot right now, maybe a relationship's gone sour, or work's testing your patience, lean into that resilience. You don't have to fix it all today. Take a deep breath, ground yourself like the earth sign you are, and trust that you've got what it takes to come out stronger. Think of Lisa in her garden, find your version of that. Maybe it's cooking a meal that warms your soul, knitting a scarf, or just sitting with a cup of tea and letting yourself feel. You don't need to prove anything to anyone, your strength is already there, humming beneath the surface. And here's a little nudge from me to you, stop waiting for someone else to see your light. You don't need their approval to shine. If they can't honor you, let them go. You're not here to chase people, you're here to build a life that feels good, steady, and true. Karen didn't waste her energy begging for respect. And neither should you. Say no when you need to. Walk away when it's time. And watch how the universe opens up new doors. Your worth isn't up for debate, it's a fact, carved in stone. Before we move on, let me tell you why this matters so much. Life's going to throw curveballs, whether you're juggling freelance gigs, running a household, or growing that little side hustle you love. But you, Taurus, you've got this gift of staying steady when everything else wobbles. That's not just resilience, that's power. It's the kind of power that doesn't scream but whispers, "I've got this." And trust me, you do. I've seen it in Lisa, in Karen, in Diane, and I see it in you every day. You're not just surviving, you're thriving, quietly and beautifully, in your own way. So, as we wrap up this chapter, I want you to take a moment. Think about a time you stood tall when the odds were against you. Maybe it was a quiet victory no one else noticed, raising your kids through a rough patch, pushing through a slow season in your business, or just getting out of bed when you didn't feel like it. That's your Taurus heart beating strong. Hold on to that. You don't need anyone's permission to keep going. And you never forget what you've learned along the way. That's your superpower. And it's only the beginning of what we're exploring today. Ready for more? Let's keep this journey rolling. Chapter 2. The Core Values and Steady Ground of Taurus. Alright, my dear friends, let's step into the heart of what makes Taurus so special, your core values and that rock-solid stability you bring to everything you touch. You're the builders of the Zodiac, the ones who create homes, businesses, and lives that stand the test of time. Today, we're diving into 3 beautiful truths about you, your deep sense of self-worth, your unwavering loyalty, and the way you honor hard work like it's a sacred art. Grab a cup of coffee or tea, if that's your vibe, and let's get cozy with this. Let's start with something I know you feel in your bones. You know your worth. Taurus, you've got this quiet, unshakable belief in yourself that doesn't need a megaphone. Ruled by Venus, you're all about beauty and value, not just in the things you own, but in who you are. You've spent years crafting a life you're proud of, whether it's raising a family, growing a career, or tending to that little Etsy shop you love. When someone tries to dim that light, maybe they overlook your efforts or take you for granted, you don't waste time begging them to see you. You just step back, protect that precious self-worth, and keep building. I think of Mary, a 48-year-old small business owner I counseled. She'd been working with a partner who never pulled their weight. One day, she told me, "Sophia, I'm worth more than this." She didn't yell or fight, she quietly walked away, retooled her business, and doubled her income in a year. That's Taurus power. You don't need to prove your value to anyone, because you already feel it deep inside. Now, let's talk about your loyalty. It's like a warm, steady heartbeat that keeps your relationships alive. When you love someone, whether it's your kids, your partner, or that friend you've had since forever, you're all in. You show up, you support, you give your all, because to you, loyalty isn't just a word, it's a promise. But here's where it gets real. If that trust gets broken, you don't make a big scene. You pull back, slow and silent, like the tide retreating from the shore. And oh, how they feel it when you're gone. I worked with Ellen, a 44-year-old mom and part-time freelancer, who'd been betrayed by a close friend. She didn't confront or cry, she just stopped reaching out. Months later, that friend came back, begging to reconnect, but Ellen had already moved on. She told me, "Sophia, I gave everything, but I won't let someone take that for granted." That's you, Taurus, loyal to a fault, but wise enough to know when to let go. And when you do, the absence of your steady presence? It's louder than any argument. And then there's your love for hard work. Oh, how you shine here. Taurus doesn't just work, you pour your soul into it. Whether you're raising a family, balancing freelance gigs, or keeping your home running like clockwork, you believe in earning every bit of what you have. It's that earthy energy, that connection to the ground beneath your feet, that makes you respect effort, yours and others. But here's the flip side: when someone disrespects that, when they try to coast on your labor or undervalue what you've built, it cuts deep. You don't lash out, you just stop giving. I'll never forget my client, Tara, a 46-year-old who ran a catering side hustle. She had a regular client who kept haggling her prices, ignoring the hours she spent perfecting every dish. One day, she said, "Enough." She dropped them, focused on clients who appreciated her craft. And now she's booked solid. That's Taurus, you guard your hard work like treasure. Because to you, it's not just effort, it's your legacy. So, what can you take from this? My amazing Taurus friends? Here's my heartfelt advice: hold tight to that self-worth. You've built something incredible. Maybe it's a home where everyone feels safe, a business that's your pride and joy, or just a life that feels steady in a shaky world. Don't let anyone make you feel small. If they can't see what you bring to the table, let them walk away. You're not here to convince anyone, you're here to live your truth. Look at Mary, she didn't beg for respect, she claimed it. You can too. Maybe it's time to say no to that client who underpays you, or set boundaries with that family member who leans too hard. You're worth every ounce of effort you put in, and then some. And when it comes to loyalty, keep being that rock for the people you love, but don't be afraid to protect yourself. You don't have to keep pouring into a cup with a hole in it. If someone's taken your trust for granted, it's okay to step back. You don't need to explain or justify, just let your quiet exit do the talking. Ellen didn't waste her breath on someone who didn't deserve her. And you don't have to either. Your loyalty is a gift, give it to those who treasure it. Whether it's your kids, your bestie, or even yourself, yes, you deserve your own loyalty too. As for your hard work, oh, please keep shining there. Whether you're juggling a freelance deadline, baking for a bake sale, or keeping your house spotless, that effort matters. Don't let anyone cheapen it. If they don't value what you do, redirect that energy to where it's appreciated. Tara found her people, and you will too. Maybe it's time to raise your rates, delegate a chore, or just take a moment to pat yourself on the back for all you've accomplished. You're not just working, you're creating something lasting, something real. That's your Taurus soul at its best. Why does this matter? Because you, Taurus, are the backbone of so much: your family, your work, your community. You bring stability when everything else feels like quicksand. I see it every day in women like you, moms who hold it all together, freelancers who keep pushing, small business owners who refuse to quit. Your worth, your loyalty, your work, they're the foundation of who you are. And when someone tries to shake that, you don't topple, you stand taller. I've watched Mary, Ellen, and Tara turn their Taurus gifts into lives they love. And I know you can too. So, before we move on, take a second to think. What's one thing you've built that you're proud of? Maybe it's your kids growing up strong, a project you nailed, or just the peace you've carved out in your home. That's your Taurus stability shining through. You don't need anyone to tell you it's enough, it already is. And if someone's made you doubt that lately, Let this be your reminder, you're a force. Steady and true, we've got more to explore. So hang tight, your Taurus journey is just heating up. Chapter 3. The Practical Mind and Cosmic Trust of Taurus. Hey, my wonderful Taurus friends. We're moving into something I know you'll nod along to, this amazing blend of practical thinking and quiet faith that defines you. Imagine yourself as a farmer tending a field. You plant the seeds. Water them patiently, and trust the harvest will come when the time's right. That's you, Taurus, always looking ahead. Steady as can be, with this beautiful belief that life has a way of balancing itself out. Today, we're unpacking your long-term vision, your trust in karma, and that patience that's both your superpower and your limit. Let's settle in and explore this together. First up, your long-term thinking. It's like you've got a built-in compass for stability. Taurus, with that earthy energy grounding you, you don't just live for the moment, you're always asking, how will this play out down the road? Whether it's saving for a rainy day, nurturing your kids into adulthood, or growing that freelance gig into something steady, you see the big picture. When life throws a curveball, say, a client flakes or a loved one disappoints, you don't react on impulse. You take a step back, weigh your options, and adjust your path. I saw this in Jane, a 50-year-old freelance designer I worked with. She'd been stuck with a client who kept changing deadlines, stressing her out. Instead of quitting in a huff, she quietly reworked her schedule, found new projects, and built a roster of reliable folks who respect her time. Now, she's thriving, all because she played the long game. That's your Taurus gift. You don't just survive, you plan to flourish. Now, let's talk about your trust in karma. Oh, this is where your calm strength really shines. You've got this deep, almost cosmic belief that what goes around comes around. Ruled by Venus, you love harmony, and when someone disrupts that, maybe they betray you or undervalue your effort, you don't rush to settle the score. Nope, you let the universe handle it. It's not about being passive, it's about knowing time reveals the truth. I think of my client, Laura, a 43-year-old mom who runs a little online store. She had a supplier who shorted her on an order and ghosted her. Laura didn't waste energy chasing them down, she focused on finding a better source. Months later, that supplier came crawling back, desperate for her business, but she'd already moved on. She told me, Sophia, I knew it'd catch up with them. That's you, Taurus, you don't need to fight every battle. Because you trust justice finds its way. And then there's your patience. Oh, it's legendary. You're the one who waits. Who gives second chances? Who believes people can turn things around? It's beautiful, really, like a river carving through stone. Slow and steady. But here's the catch, your patience isn't endless. You'll give someone time to fix their mistakes, whether it's a friend who's let you down or a coworker who's slacking, but if they keep pushing, you hit a wall. And when that happens, you don't explode, you just fade out. Quietly, gracefully, you're gone. I worked with Beth, a 47-year-old stay-at-home mom who'd been putting up with a relative's constant demands. She gave them chance after chance. But when they crossed the line one too many times, she stopped answering the phone. No drama, no fuss, just peace. Beth said, Sophia, I waited long enough. That's your Taurus heart, patient. Yes, but fierce about protecting your calm. So, what can you do with all this? My incredible Taurus sisters? Here's my advice, straight from the heart. Lean into that long-term vision. You're so good at seeing what's worth your time, use it. If something's off right now, maybe a job's draining you or a relationship's shaky, don't rush to fix it. Step back, like Jane did, and ask, does this fit my future? Maybe it's time to tweak your budget. Say no to that extra freelance gig. Or focus on what really lasts, like your family or that dream you've been shelving. You don't need quick wins, you're built for the marathon. And you'll get there, steady and strong. And that trust in karma? Keep it close. When someone wrongs you, don't let it steal your peace. You don't have to prove a point or get even, let life sort it out. Laura didn't chase that supplier. And you don't need to chase anyone either. Focus on what you can control, your work, your home, your joy. The universe has your back. Taurus, it always does. Next time someone tests you, take a deep breath and think, this isn't my fight. You'll feel lighter, I promise. Because you know the scales will balance in time. As for your patience, oh, please honor its limits. You're so generous with it. But don't let it trap you. Give people a chance, sure, but if they keep taking without giving back, it's okay to walk away. Beth didn't owe anyone her endless time. And neither do you. Maybe it's that friend who cancels plans too often. Or the client who's always late with payment. Set your boundary. You don't need to explain or feel guilty, just step back and reclaim your energy. Your patience is a gift. But it's yours to give, not theirs to take. Why does this matter so much? Because you, Taurus, bring a rare kind of peace to this chaotic world. Whether you're running a household, freelancing through deadlines, or growing a small business, you've got this knack for keeping things real and steady. That long-term thinking keeps you grounded. That trust in karma keeps you calm. And that patience? It's your quiet power. I've seen it in Jane, Laura, Beth, women just like you who've turned these Taurus traits into lives they love. You're not here to chase fleeting drama, you're here to build something lasting. Something true. Before we head to the next chapter, let's pause. Think about a time you waited it out. Maybe you stuck with a tough job until it paid off. Or you gave someone space to grow. Or maybe you trusted that things would work out. And they did. That's your Taurus wisdom at work. You don't need to rush or force anything. Your strength lies in your pace, your faith, your calm. And if someone's testing that patience right now, remember, you've got the power to choose what stays in your life. We've got one more chapter to go. And it's a big one, so stick with me. Because your Taurus story is about to get even brighter. Chapter 4. The Grounded Reality and Letting Go Grace of Taurus. Hey, my amazing Taurus crew, we've made it to our final chapter, and oh, it's a good one. This is where we talk about how you keep it real and know when to let go. Picture yourself as the keeper of a warm, steady flame, your home, your work, your peace. You nurture it, protect it, but if it starts burning you instead of warming you, you're not afraid to put it out and start fresh. Today, we're diving into your high standards, your fearless ability to release what doesn't serve you, and that fierce pride in the life you've built. Let's wrap this Taurus journey with some serious soul fire. First, let's talk about your standards. They're sky high. And I love that about you, Taurus. With Venus lighting your way, you crave beauty, stability, and respect in everything you do. You don't settle for half-baked efforts or shaky promises. Whether it's the way you run your freelance projects, keep your family grounded, or grow that little business you've poured your heart into, you expect the best, because you give the best. If someone can't meet you there, if they disrespect your time, your effort, or your worth, you're out. I saw this with Susan, a 43-year-old stay-at-home mom I counseled. She'd been dealing with a relative who constantly criticized her parenting. One day, she said, "Sophia, I deserve better." No big blowout, she just stopped inviting them over, reclaimed her space, and now her home's a sanctuary again. That's you, Taurus. You don't compromise on what matters, because you know your value's non-negotiable. Now, here's where you really shine, your ability to let go. People might think Taurus holds on forever. But that's only half the story. Yes, you're loyal, you're steady, but when something's not working, when it's draining your peace instead of filling it, you're not afraid to walk away. And you do it with such grace. No tantrums, no tears for show, you just release it. Like letting a leaf fall from a tree. I think of my client, Rachel, a 45-year-old who freelances as a writer. She'd been stuck with a toxic client who nitpicked her work and paid late. She gave them chances, but when it was clear they'd never change, she sent a polite, "I'm done," email and moved on. Within weeks, she landed gigs that paid better and respected her talent. That's Taurus strength, not clinging to what's broken, but building toward what's whole. You let go not out of weakness, but out of wisdom. And let's not forget your pride and dignity. Oh, it's the backbone of everything you are. Taurus, you've worked hard to create a life that's steady and true. That cozy home where everyone feels safe. That business you've nurtured through late nights. That reputation as the one who always comes through, it's all yours. Earned with sweat and love. When someone threatens that, maybe they overlook your effort or try to shake your calm, you don't let it slide. You draw a line, quiet but firm, and protect what you've built. I worked with Claire, a 49-year-old small business owner who'd been undervalued by a longtime customer. She didn't argue, she just raised her prices and let them walk. She told me, "Sophia, I've earned my place," and she had. Now, her business thrives with people who honor her worth. That's your Taurus pride. It's not loud, but it's unbreakable. So, my beautiful Taurus souls, here's what I want you to take away, some real, from the heart advice. Hold those standards high, because they're your compass. You deserve respect, stability, and joy in every corner of your life. Don't settle for less. If someone's bringing chaos instead of calm, whether it's a flaky friend, a demanding client, or even a habit that's dragging you down, give yourself permission to say, "This isn't for me." Susan didn't let negativity steal her peace. And you don't have to either. Maybe it's time to renegotiate that freelance rate. Declutter your schedule, or just tell someone, no, with a smile. You're not here for crumbs, you're here for the whole feast. And when it's time to let go, trust yourself to do it. You don't need to hang on to what's not working just because it's familiar. That job that's killing your spirit, that relationship that's all take and no give, you've got the strength to release it. Rachel didn't cling to a bad gig. And look how it paid off. Take a deep breath, feel that earthy Taurus power in your bones, and let it fall away. You're not losing, you're making room for something better. Maybe it's a new project, a quieter day, or just space to breathe. Whatever it is, you'll know it's right, because you trust your instincts. As for your pride and dignity, oh, wear them like a crown. You've built something incredible, your family, your work, your little corner of the world, and no one gets to tarnish that. If they try, draw that line. Claire didn't let anyone cheapen her effort. And you shouldn't either. Maybe it's standing up to that relative who oversteps, or quietly stepping away from a connection that dims your light. You've earned your stability, your peace, guard it fiercely. Because it's yours. You don't need to shout it from the rooftops, your quiet confidence says it all. Why does this matter? Because you, Taurus, are a rare gem in this fast-moving world. You bring reality when everyone's lost in the clouds, strength when others falter, and a dignity that's pure gold. Whether you're juggling kids and a side hustle, freelancing through deadlines, or keeping your home a haven, you do it with a grace that's all your own. I've seen it in Susan, Rachel, Claire, women just like you who've said yes to their worth and no to what doesn't fit. You're not here to chase fleeting fixes, you're here to live a life that's solid, beautiful, and true. Before we wrap this up, take a moment, think about something you've let go of, a job, a person, a worry, and how it freed you. Or maybe something you're proud of right now, your kids thriving, a project you nailed, that peace you feel when you walk through your door. That's your Taurus magic at work. You don't settle, you don't cling, and you don't let anyone steal your shine. You've got this grounded, gorgeous strength that's carried us through this journey, and trust me, it's going to carry you so much further. Let's head to the wrap-up, because I've got something special to leave you with. Well, my beautiful Taurus friends, we've journeyed through the heart of what makes you so extraordinary, and wow, what a ride it's been. We've uncovered your incredible inner strength that keeps you standing tall, your core values that root you in stability, your practical wisdom that sees you through life's twists, and that grounded grace that lets you let go when it's time. You're not just a sign, you're a force of nature, steady and radiant in a world that's always spinning too fast. I hope you felt that spark of recognition, that, yes, that's me, moment, because it's all you, shining through. Let me just say this, you are living proof of the beauty and power Taurus brings to this earth. Whether you're holding down the fort at home, building a freelance career step by step, or pouring love into that small business you've dreamed of, you're special, not because you shout it, but because you live it. Every time you push through a tough day, every time you choose peace over chaos, every time you honor your worth, you're showing the world what resilience, loyalty, and dignity look like. I see you, and I'm in awe of you. You're the steady hand, the warm heart, the quiet strength that keeps everything together, and that's no small thing. Now, I'd love to hear from you, because your voice matters here. What part of this Taurus journey hit home for you? Was it that unshakable resilience? The way you trust time to sort things out? Or maybe how you protect what you've built with such pride. Drop it in the comments below. I can't wait to read your stories. And I know this amazing community will love connecting with you too. Maybe you've got a moment where you stood your ground or let something go that set you free. Share it with us. Let's keep this conversation glowing. And here's the best part. We're just getting started. If you're a Taurus, or you've got a Taurus in your life you're trying to understand, maybe your sister, your best friend, or even your mom, stick with us at Zodiac Wisdom. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Because there's so much more to explore. We've got the whole Zodiac ahead of us. Think of the insights, the aha moments, the ways we'll grow together. This isn't just a channel, it's a journey. And you're a part of it. The stars have so many secrets left to share. And I promise, it's going to be incredible. So, as we close this chapter, let me leave you with this. You're a treasure. Taurus, a gem forged in patience, polished with love, and strong enough to weather anything. Keep shining in that quiet, powerful way only you can. You don't need the world's applause, you've got your own light. And it's breathtaking. Thank you for being here with me today, I'm so grateful for you. Let's keep this energy alive in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, stand tall, stay true, and know you're unstoppable. You've got this, always.